One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a keys player is making mistakes. Just kidding, we all make mistakes on stage. In this video, I'm going to show you some things to avoid so you can stay in your lane and make an impact during your worship sets. Mistake number 1, ignore the others in your band. Now I know that nobody would do this on purpose, but you can be really intentional about how you're going into rehearsal. As for me, I really like to have guitarist panned in my ears. We often will run one electric guitarist in stereo, and then I like to pan the 2 channels, one to the far left and one to the far right. Or if we do have especially 2 electric guitarists, I like to pan one of them far left and the other one far right. So I really want to hear everything that they're doing so that our melodies can really lock in. And I also like to have the vocals up pretty high so that I can just be really aware of those vocal melodies. And the way I like to prepare is just to really think through what is happening in each of the songs and what patches I might like to do and what melodies I would like to contribute. But I really want to be flexible as I come into rehearsal and use that time to be able to not just execute my parts, but really hear what everyone else is doing and perhaps to shift into a different place. And that way, between rehearsal and Sunday morning, I can really make sure that I'm honing in my parts and finding things that work to fill out the whole space and the whole band and support everybody else around me. Mistake number 2, play lots of root triads in both hands. Now, I realize that you're probably not playing root triads in both hands all the time, but you do want to be really thoughtful about your voicings and how you choose to play your chords, especially when you're playing sustained chords. What I like to do in the left hand is do a lot of single notes or fifths, or especially octaves that can really fill it out nicely. If you play a third in the left hand, especially lower in the piano, it really muddies it up, and it's way better to add in that third as a melody note up in the right hand, or let another instrument cover that. The other thing I like to do in the right hand is to add a little riff or a little melodic line that's maybe just 2 or 3 notes that can work over every single chord and really sound good. And this is a great way to support in the middle range. Say the electric guitar is playing a higher lead and you have just the acoustic guitar strumming in the middle. You can really add a little bit of motion by using that 1st and 5th note together, kind of alternating, or coming up with a little riff that just kind of fills out the center without just playing chords. Mistake number 3, playing timid parts with a click. Now, nobody means to be timid. We all want to be confident when we're on stage, but it can be really easy once we get up there to be a little bit nervous once we start to play. There are some things that you can do at home to make sure you're really confident once you get out there. And I think the most helpful thing to use is a metronome at home. What I like to do at home when I'm working on songs is I like to find the tempo of the song and set my metronome for that and play through it and be able to play the whole song start to finish and all the parts. If I have a really busy part that I'm working on and it's hard for me to do it at that tempo, then I like to slow it down to a speed that's really comfortable for me and easy. Then what I like to do is increase it by 4 clicks until I get it up to the speed that I want it to be. Now, I actually like to not stop at the tempo of the song. I like to go about 10 clicks over, and I know if I can play that really busy part 10 clicks above where it needs to be, once I move it back down, it's gonna be really easy and locked in. At that point, it's no big deal. If I'm really struggling or I'm trying to put something together in a day or 2 and I just can't get there, it's much better to simplify. Less is always more. It's better to play a simpler part that's still gonna have an impact than to try too much with a really busy part and have to stumble over it. For me, one of the other reasons why I really like using the click at home is because it really helps me to nail those intros and those instrumentals or points in the song where maybe the keyboardist is the only one playing. It's really important to me that the band is able to trust me and they know that if they ask me to open a song that I'm gonna be able to nail it, and I really wanna build that trust with my band. And so by being able to just play the entire song just alone in my house with a click track, it really gives me that confidence to know that I'll be able to do it on the stage. So one final thought, we get asked a lot, what do you do if you have a really electric guitar driven song and you don't hear a lot of keyboard parts? And some folks might think that you just can play pads the whole time, but I think of this as a really unique opportunity to do something different. Some ideas of things that I like to do is to play maybe an organ in the mid-range to fill out the sound, or to add an electric piano in like an instrumental. Sometimes if I want to fill out the low end, I'll play some really nice low octaves and low chords. I might add a counter melody up top along with the guitar that kind of locks into what they're doing and also fits with the vocal line. I might play a really repetitive part just right in the middle that goes along with the acoustic to kind of fill out the sound. I just really think about who's covering what parts during that song and how can I add something fresh. And I just think of this as such a unique opportunity to bring a new melody or a new sound to a song. It's really unique to that morning and those people. You're only gonna have one chance on that stage with those people and the folks in the room. And so this is a great opportunity to take some creative freedom to make it your own. I hope you have a lot of fun creating your patches and melodies for worship. If you're looking for some new worship key sounds, make sure you check out Sunday Keys. There's a link for that in the description. Leave a comment if you feel like this was helpful. Thanks for watching and have a great day.